Many of you have been told, just ask the universe for what you want, as if these words alone hold some secret key to all that you desire. Perhaps you've tried it yourself. You've sat quietly, whispered your hopes, written them down, maybe even shouted them to the sky in frustration. You've asked for love, for wealth, for healing, for change. And yet, despite all this asking, nothing seems to come. Or it comes in small and unsatisfying ways. Or worse, what arrives seems to be the very opposite of what you asked for. You begin to doubt whether anyone is listening at all. You wonder if you are doing it wrong. You question whether this so-called asking the universe is anything more than empty words. This is where most stop. Confused, disappointed, resigned to live with less than they truly want. But I am here to tell you, you did not fail because you asked. You failed because you did not truly understand what asking is. To ask is not to beg. It is not to plead with some distant force to have pity on you. It is not to cry out in fear and desperation. True asking is an act of creation. It is an inner declaration. It is the assumption of the wish fulfilled. You see, you cannot ask the universe from a place of lack and expect to receive abundance. You cannot ask from fear and expect to receive safety. You cannot ask from doubt and expect to receive certainty. The universe responds not to the words you say, but to the state you occupy. When people tell you to ask the universe, they rarely explain this. They speak of asking as if it is a transaction. I ask and then I wait to see if I am worthy enough to receive. But this is not how the law works. You are not waiting for permission. You are claiming what is already yours in consciousness. So let us begin here, at the true beginning. To ask is to assume. To ask is to enter into the feeling that what you desire is already yours. To ask is to move your awareness out of lack and into fulfillment. This is the secret most overlooked. And this is the foundation upon which all true asking rests. Once you understand that asking is not speaking words into the air, but assuming the state of already having what you desire, everything begins to shift. The question is no longer, how do I ask? The question becomes, who am I being as I ask? Because the universe is not responding to your voice, it is responding to your vibration, to your state of consciousness. Let me say this to you clearly. You do not attract what you want. You attract what you are conscious of being. You may want wealth, but if you are conscious of being poor, you are asking as poverty. You may want love, but if you are conscious of being unworthy, you are asking as rejection. And the universe will give to you in exact accordance with that state. Not to punish you, but to reflect you. The world is a mirror. It simply shows you who you are being within. So when you ask as the person who already has it. Become that version of yourself in your imagination. Step into the life that already contains your desire. Feel it. Walk in it. Live from it, not toward it. Let me give you something simple to do. Tonight, before you fall asleep, close your eyes and feel yourself in possession of your desire. Not wishing for it. Not thinking about it. Feel it. Feel the relief. Feel the gratitude. Feel the joy as if it were done. If it is money you want, see yourself holding the amount in your hands. Feel the weight of the bills, the texture, the sound. If it is a new home, walk through the rooms in your mind. Run your fingers across the furniture. Listen to the silence, the comfort, the safety. This is asking. This is prayer. Not with words, but with identity. You are saying to the universe, this is who I am now. And because you are the operant power, the universe has no choice but to conform. Now let us go even deeper into this mystery of asking. You may wonder, if it is truly so simple, why do so many people ask and fail to receive? Why do their desires seem to remain out of reach, no matter how often they repeat them? It is because they do not persist in the assumption. They do not remain faithful to the state of the wish fulfilled. Most people ask once and then immediately contradict themselves. They imagine wealth for a moment, then speak of how expensive everything is. They picture love, then remind themselves of their loneliness. They declare health, then dwell on every ache and diagnosis. Their true state is not the one they chose in imagination, but the one they return to in fear. The universe cannot bring you what you will not sustain in your inner world. It responds with perfect accuracy to the state you occupy most consistently. This is why persistence is so essential. Persistence is faith in action. It is saying, no matter what I see with my eyes, I will remain faithful to what I have assumed within. If you plant a seed in the soil and dig it up every day to see if it is growing, you will kill it. So too with your assumptions. You must plant them in imagination and leave them there undisturbed. Nourish them with feeling. Protect them from doubt. Let them grow in the unseen until they break through into the visible. When you ask the universe, you are not placing an order and then worrying if it will arrive. You are moving into the experience of already having received it. You are living from the end, not toward it. This is the difference between wishing and knowing. Wishing says, I hope it might come. Knowing says, it is already mine. Wishing waits. Knowing prepares. When you truly know, you begin to act, speak, and feel as one who possesses the thing desired. So if you want to ask the universe and truly receive, begin by examining your own assumptions. What state are you truly living from? Are you consistent in your assumption, or do you allow fear and doubt to claim your mind? Be honest, because this honesty will set you free. Once you have asked through assumption, the next step is one of the most misunderstood but most powerful aspects of this entire process. You must dwell in the end. You must remain in the state of already having what you desire, not visiting it briefly, not wishing for it from a distance, but living from it again and again until it becomes your natural dwelling place. Let us be clear. You are not trying to force the universe into submission. You are not trying to manipulate the outside world. You are aligning yourself with a version of reality that already exists. And that alignment happens through your state of consciousness. To dwell in the end means to close the gap between you and your desire. It means to stop imagining that what you want is coming one day, and instead to feel that it is already here. Right now, already yours, already done. This requires discipline. It requires choice. Because your senses will often tempt you to believe the opposite. They will point to the current state of affairs and say, this is what is real. But remember, the senses are not the cause, they are the effect. What you see today is the echo of what you imagined yesterday. So, if you want to change what you see, you must change where you dwell. Start practicing this now. If your desire is a new home, walk through that home in your imagination every morning. Open the doors. Feel the sunlight on the walls. Hear the quiet peace of being there. If your desire is financial freedom, imagine checking your account and seeing the balance you've longed for. Hear the click of the keypad. Feel the confidence rising in your chest. Your imagination is not idle. It is not make-believe. It is the divine creative power that shapes your world. And it is by dwelling in your desired outcome, not just visiting it, that you instruct the universe to reorganize itself on your behalf. So ask by assuming, and then live as if you have already received, not to trick or test reality, but because you know that what you assume, with feeling and persistence, must be made real. Now that you see the importance of dwelling in the end, let us talk about the true key to making it alive and real within you, feeling. For it is feeling that impresses your desire upon the subconscious mind. It is not enough to merely think of what you want. You must feel it. You must awaken within yourself the emotional conviction that it is already so. Consider this carefully. When you imagine a thing with feeling, you create an experience in consciousness that is indistinguishable from physical reality to the subconscious mind. The subconscious does not question it. It accepts the feeling as fact. And because it accepts it as fact, it sets out to make it real in your world. Most people make the mistake of imagining their desire with no emotional involvement. They see it like watching a distant movie, disconnected and cold. But the creative act is not a lifeless mental exercise. It is the art of entering into the state of the wish fulfilled. It is the deliberate cultivation of the feeling of the end. If you want wealth, how would you feel knowing you have it? Not tomorrow, but right now. Would you feel relief, security, freedom? Allow those feelings to rise within you. Saturate your mind with them. Let them become your natural mood. Do not be discouraged if at first this feels unnatural. You have spent years feeling the opposite: lack, fear, doubt. Be patient with yourself. With practice, the new feeling will become familiar. And when it is familiar, it will feel natural. And when it feels natural, it will express itself effortlessly in your world. Every night as you drift to sleep, enter this feeling. Imagine one simple scene that implies your desire is fulfilled. Feel the joy, the satisfaction, the gratitude. Do not force it. Allow it. Let it carry you into sleep. For in that drowsy state, your mind is most receptive to impression. This is the secret most overlooked. Feeling is the creative act. Feeling is the language of the subconscious. What you feel, you make real. So choose carefully what you dwell upon. Choose carefully what you feel to be true. Now let us speak of something many resist, but which is absolutely necessary if you are to ask the universe and truly receive. This is the discipline of remaining faithful to your assumption. For you must understand that your outer world will often lag behind your inner change. There is a natural time interval between the planting of the seed in imagination and the harvest in physical reality. Most people give up during this interval. They begin with hope and excitement. They imagine their desire, they feel it, they claim it. But when days or weeks pass and nothing seems to change, doubt begins to creep in. They start watching the evidence around them. and when it contradicts their wish, they abandon it. They say, "It isn't working." They allow fear to return. They slip back into their old state of lack, of worry, of limitation. And so the universe faithfully reflects that old state back to them. Not to punish them, but because it must mirror what they truly accept as real. If you are to truly ask and receive, you must remain loyal to the unseen reality you have claimed in imagination. You must make it your dwelling place, even when the world denies it. Especially when the world denies it. Because this is the test of faith. Faith is loyalty to the unseen. Faith is persistence in assumption. Ask yourself, what would I think, feel, do if I truly believed my desire was already mine? Live from those answers. Let them guide your words, your actions, your mood. Do not simply visit your wish fulfilled in brief moments of meditation. Make it the atmosphere of your mind all day long. When fear arises, as it will, do not condemn yourself. Simply return to your chosen state. When doubts whisper, do not fight them with panic. Gently reaffirm your end. Say within yourself, "It is already done." Feel again the relief, the gratitude, the certainty. You will discover that as you persist, your mind becomes calmer. Your reactions soften. You will find yourself less shaken by appearances. Because you know the truth. The outer world is clay in the hands of your inner assumption. And when you hold that assumption steadily, the world must conform. Do not be fooled by time. Time is not your enemy. It is the process through which the unseen becomes seen. The seed you plant in imagination needs time to mature. But know this, once planted, it is certain, if you do not dig it up with doubt. So remain faithful. Remain steady. Hold your assumption as the only truth worth entertaining. And in time, you will see your world reshaped to match it. This is the discipline that turns asking into receiving. Now let us turn inward. For there is a sacred place within you, a place beyond noise, beyond effort, beyond appearance. It is here, in this stillness, that true asking begins. Not the kind of asking that uses many words, but the kind that speaks through feeling, through awareness, through identity. You see, the most powerful requests are made in silence. When you still the mind, when you turn away from the outside world and withdraw into yourself, you reach the core of your being, the creative center. And it is here that your assumptions are most potent. Each night, as you lie in bed, just before drifting into sleep, there is a door that opens. A door between the conscious and the subconscious. It is in this moment, when your body is relaxed and your mind is soft, that you have access to the deepest parts of yourself. This is where you must go. Let your last thoughts of the day be of the wish fulfilled, not as a hope, but as a fact. Bring to mind a simple scene that would be true if your desire were now real. Do not force it. Let it come to you. Let it rise naturally in your imagination. And then feel it. Feel the ease of it, the satisfaction, the gratitude. Let it sink into your being. And then allow yourself to fall asleep in that mood. This, more than any outer effort, changes everything. For the subconscious never sleeps. And it will take that feeling, that quiet, confident knowing, and begin to shape your world in its image. It will attract the conditions, the people, the events necessary for the fulfillment of what you have assumed. You do not need to know how. You do not need to force or chase. You only need to return again and again to the silence, to the feeling of the end, and allow the law to do its perfect work. For what you feel deeply and persist in feeling will harden into fact. It is law. It cannot fail you. Now that you understand the silence where true asking happens, let us go even further. For it is not enough to enter the silence once or twice and imagine your wish fulfilled. If you would truly receive what you ask, you must make this a way of life. It is about living from the end, not merely imagining it for moments here and there. Consider carefully what this means. Living from the end is not pretending. It is not acting as though you have it while secretly believing you do not. It is fully accepting that in consciousness it is already done. It is allowing your inner conversations, your reactions, your choices to flow from that certainty. Ask yourself this: if I truly had what I want, how would I feel today? How would I speak? How would I move through the world? What would occupy my mind? These are not idle questions. They are the doorway to the state of the wish fulfilled. When you catch yourself complaining about money, remember, would the wealthy version of me think this way? When you find yourself dwelling on loneliness, ask, would the loved and cherished version of me entertain these thoughts? This is the discipline of assumption. You are training your mind to remain faithful to the end you have chosen. Let us make this practical. Begin each morning by setting your intention to dwell in your desired state. Before rising, close your eyes and feel what it is like to already have what you want. Carry that mood with you into the day. When challenges arise, and they will, do not react blindly. Pause. Remember who you are being. Throughout your day, use your imagination deliberately. If fear tries to grip you, return to your scene of fulfillment. If doubt whispers that nothing is changing, reaffirm your inner knowing. Tell yourself calmly, it is already mine. Feel the relief of that truth. Let it soften your heart, steady your mind. And as you lie down at night, refuse to fall asleep in worry or lack. Instead, sink once more into your chosen scene. Hear the words you would hear if your desire were real. Feel the satisfaction, the gratitude, the quiet certainty. Let these feelings cradle you into sleep. For the state in which you sleep is the state your subconscious accepts as true. This is the great secret that turns asking into receiving. It is not about begging the universe to deliver. It is about inhabiting the state where delivery is inevitable. It is not about hoping things will change. It is about knowing they already have in consciousness and trusting the law to make them visible in time. Above all, be patient with yourself. You are reconditioning years of old assumptions. There will be moments when doubt rises, when old thoughts try to reclaim their place. Do not fight them with fear. Gently but firmly return to your chosen state. Again and again, as often as it takes. For this is the true act of creation. This is what it means to ask the universe and actually get what you want. To assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. To dwell in that end with unwavering faith. To persist until your outer world has no choice but to mirror your inner certainty. You are the operant power. What you accept as true within must express itself without. So choose carefully, feel deeply, persist faithfully, and watch as the universe reforms itself around your assumption. This is the promise. This is the law. And it is certain.